It is it is mid-July, and it is my mother's birthday. Rest in peace. And I had looked up my grandmother, but it looks like her mom, my mother's mother, passed away in 2016. So it's been a while. I don't know. But I wanted to make a note of my experiences since since I've not been on disability, since the federal government got a call within a nurse a nursing setting that I was not mentally ready for disability. And so so my disability insurance has been off since about 2020 or 2021. And I'm back in my town, and they have tried to kill me one time, rape one time, to be infected with HIV/AIDS twice by two different men. One child, one old man, and one one regular midget. So since my disability, I had gone to try to search for employment, and I was living in, my choice was to go to where employment was bountiful, native to my not my trader line, but to my retirement fund. I like to be where I will be hired, like not go through a series of useless conversations. Okay, I feel like if you needed somebody, you would hire them. If you wanted me, you would immediately hire me. I don't like the run around that people give you. And I don't need a lot of competition because I just don't feel like people are worth my time. And I got that character from the Ivy League. I have a wealth of information. The cat is here. She's getting pregnant, bigger and bigger. And I think it's her first litter. She's not so bad. So I had been in Ponce, I had been in Santa Isabel, and I had been in San Isidro's Canovanas. In San Isidro's Canovanas, at the women's shelter, I arrived with a open foot, like a broken foot. Like my toes were like, they didn't have skin on them. I arrived to San Isidro Refugio in an ambulance from where I was in Kamui, Calle. I think I was in Calle hospital for about a week until my foot was less gangrenish. And I've always had problems with my feet. When I first got on this, when my SSDI, when my insurance was upgraded to Medicare from Medicaid due to a series of hospitalizations and the deaths of surgery, I was put on Medicare, and it allowed me to be free to see whatever I needed to see without referrals. And I was allowed to go to the gym. Like Medicare and Medicaid, the major difference is that Medicare offers you prevention medicine. So I can go to the therapist, the physical therapist on Medicare, but on Medicaid, I cannot. I can prevent an injury or a worsening of an illness on Medicare, but on Medicaid, I cannot. I can receive medical equipment on Medicare, and on Medicaid, I cannot. So right now, I have Medicaid. And unless I'm like literally dying, I only get to, on Medicaid, I only get to go to the emergency room. So unless I'm dying, and I've been to the emergency room these last 6 months about 6 times. So in San Isidro Canovanas, they wanted to force me to accept injections, right? Like they pierce your skin with a needle. And I don't do injections. When I left the mainland, I was restricted from puncturing my skin because of a lifetime of injections. I mean, my first shot was as an infant, toddler, and it was on my back 120 injections to see why I didn't have the will to live. And actually, I'm allergic to sugar and eggs. I'm allergic to food. I grew out of most of these sensitivities, and I learned to choke it back. Like for instance, today I had some cheese, mozzarella, because I needed something bland because I've been having a lot of sugar. And it's so hard. It's so hard not to barf everything when you're sick like that. When food makes you sick. And so I'm over there, and they don't understand that I cannot sign up for injections. And they want to do a series of injections. So they'll take you to the doctor. The doctor will give you pills, and the pills will be verified through injections. But when I was coming from Calle and they took my blood, in one with the phlebotomist took what she could, and she had to stop because I just cannot give. I don't have blood to be giving. Like, I don't have that much. So I start falling over. I start crying. So I get there and I refuse. So the the shelter is trying to convince me to accept these injections, and I already know, like I've been around for two quarters, you know, and I know my movie already. I don't do injections. I cannot sign up for injections no matter what. Like, if the only way that I can get Medicaid is to accept injections, the only way to get a shelter is to accept injections, the only way to get food is through injections, then I can't have none of that. I'll be in the street, in the baseball field, on a block of cement, hungry, walking around, trying to get a job. And what my thing is that a lot of my certifications are in Puerto Rico. They don't employ women for what I do. They recently in KFC allowed women to fry chicken, to do prep work. They don't allow women to injure their beauty, right? Because if you get spilled with grease, then you can sue or whatever the company, because you're carrying more weight than your body will allow. You're not strong enough as a woman to push the volume that their uh, prerequisites demand. Um, and chicken on a tray and a hotel pan can get heavy, and when it's dripping, that oil is still hot when it comes out of the par cooking. Um, and there are men with companies now because of the hideous burns that not being careful um, will cause. Anyway, so San Isidro for me is where I was shot. So I'm standing in the shelter, the women's refuge, and I am applying for the housing, Section 8. My thing is Section 8. So, I get information, I follow the lead. That's how I live my life, navigating the system. And what happened was that when they saw that they were not going to get anything from me financially through my signature because I cannot accept injections, they shot at my face. Like, they shot a 22 bullet at me standing out in the backyard of within the shelter, outside of the ceiling. So I was in the backyard, and there was a girl there, and she had her daughter, who I was teaching how to. I was giving her some tutoring on how to write neatly, and how to associate words with calligraphy. And so that I don't remember the daughter being there in that moment, but the girl stood there in her glasses, and she said, "Watch out, they're about to shoot at you." And the black man, the security guard, had a gesture, and he waited for the bullet to be shot from by a sniper type of situation, because apparently their drugs, their punto de droga, had a clear view into our backyard. And I swear, man, she was like, oh, well, so they knew what was going on when they invited me outside to stand there with them in the sun. Like, he knew that it was to murder me, to have me assassinated. Like, I'm not going to say assassination because I'm not Tupac, but they did want me to stand there and swallow a bullet to the face. The bullet hit the wall behind me. I literally saw it coming. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh wow, I can see like an orangeness in the air. And so, kind of like, it should be here by now. And it literally grazes me, hits the wall. Black man, deep black man with like this kind of like pubes on his face, type of person that says, don't tell anybody I'm helping you. That's a sure sign criminal. Don't tell anybody? Oh, that's a sure sign of a criminal. So, I leave there and I'm in the baseball field. But now in the baseball field, the hookers, that's where the tranny hookers get up with their customers. So I'm bothering, but they can't really do anything about it. But like they're like, how long are you gonna be there? And I'm like, I don't know. So what I do is I shadow. I end up working for this lady who is typically amoral. She runs an organization for women who can't walk and take care of themselves. And there's a couple of retard girls there. God bless their soul, sweethearts. As far as retards can go. One was nicer than the other one. So I shadowed those girls. I helped those girls there with not with showering, but with the cleaning and the feeding of the patients there. And they're new to me, but I already know them statistically because we study these people in New York. These people have a reputation that I only know of on paper, legally. So I know about these people who are born vegetables, and marijuana brings their seizures and their spasms down considerably. But they're a vegetable. They're literally just, they're not, there's no, it's cruel to keep them alive. But forced births, you just keep everything alive. That's why when I told my paperwork, like when I was in St. Luke's, they were like, do you want to be resuscitated? I was absolutely not. Never. Don't resuscitate me. Don't. I've been there. I've done that. I don't want to be resuscitated. When I was young, my father was completely against me having a blood transfusion, completely against me living past my due date. But when I needed the blood, he gave it to me, and my older brother gave it to me. God rest their souls. We're A positive. I'm A positive blood. So that was San Isidro. I went from, so the girls, they at the shelter where I was they attempted to murder me. They took my social security card, my IDs, and my calendar, and they threw it. They stole it from me. The director was actually changed from her position because on the camera she takes my wallet and she tosses it into the trash can. and I just let her do it. So now I have to get new identification. Oh, that's the mohawk. So waiting on this new identification, the shelter offers me time with a lady who's taking care of these women that are bedridden. Two of the girls are in transition, so they start working, and one is heavily medicated. Like, she'll never come out of being a ward of the state because her medication is, she's on some heavy dope, you know? I mean, it stops her. It stunts her. Like, she's a heroin addict. And she's not, but they prevent her strength from happening physically. Edible dough. Edible cookie dough. The other one, she's nice, but the other one is more aggressive. She's more opinionated. Like, she's the type of person where if you tell her I don't like her, so you don't like her, she won't like you. And she don't like me, you know. Like, the lady has some problems with me, and I don't remember. I think, well, the thing is that she wanted to have me live there with these bedridden women and these retarded women and these medicated women, and it's completely inappropriate to put me in a situation like that. Because not only am I not mentally unstable, um, emotionally dangerous to myself or to others, you know. So she gets upset because she goes to the court system and tries to take my rights of independence. And then I guess all my paperwork comes through, my Ivy League, like, I'm bona fide, sane, correct, you know. It's one of the few things that you cannot take from me. And I built that shit I built that character my whole life because I knew that people hate me. People have been trying to kill me since I was little. My earliest memory is being in my father's room, in my crib, when I was too young to sleep alone. And they were still feeding me in the night. And outside my window was Kingsbridge. And it's a river that splits Manhattan from the Bronx. Like, I'm still part of Manhattan, but since it's man made, I'm on the Bronx side. It was a swamp a long time ago. So I go and these are my first memories, you know. And my father is dealing with having come back to the city from Vietnam. He's dealing with the riots, the race riots, and the drug epidemic in the 70s still. So there's this guy, drug addict, that even today, this old man, I mean, you can imagine how old he is. I'm an infant. And now he's like muscular and it's disgusting. I don't know how to feel about old people. Old people who lie about their age. They have the mentality of an old person, but they have the body of a young person. To me, that's just, it's wrenching. because it's not progressive. It's not helpful. Um, and it's actually very harmful. So what I see in the night as a child, and my thing is practicing how to get up off my feet and balancing myself in the crib. And from the crib, I can see this guy like all week. Like I just, he wasn't a surprise because I was literally watching him every single night, um, trying to get stronger to climb Kingsbridge, because he was trying to climb the Kingsbridge so he can get up on there and shoot at me, in a similar fashion that these people in San Isidro shot at me, like through with a sniper. So he goes. Eventually, he's able to bring himself up and this and that, and I have to tell my father, like I do like a signal. I'm trying to tell him something, and the guy and I to because now the guy has his weapon and he shoots through my windows, single plated windows. And I remember, you see, like sometimes you can see, I look at my eyes and I have cuts. I have cuts in my eyeballs because of the ricochet of the glass. When he shot at me, um, like he missed because I saw him climb the bridge. I saw him, adjust himself with his guy. I saw him get ready, and then eventually, I was like, oh, finally, he's like pretty good at this, and he shoots at me, but I see the bullet coming, and it's some distance away. It's a whole river away. It's at the other end of the bridge, and I'm up the block. I'm not in the middle of the block. I'm like, I'm towards I'm on the corner building. So, the bullet is found, and my father has to take care of that. We get some windows fixed. We clean up the little dirt, and I'm not harmed because I was able to get out the way. My father was able to avoid also the bullet. And I'm not sure why. I don't care. I just know that people hate me, and that they be trying to kill me for a while. When I was having surgery, I woke up out of my coma and I was supposed to start walking to the bathroom on my crutches. Black lady who is apparently still walking around with a probation officer, deep black, just embarrassingly black. I mean, when I see black people, like jet black people commit crimes, I be like, too black to be committing a crime. I mean, can't you leave that to another race? You're embarrassing the rest of us. God, I hate it when that happens. But so this, because you make jokes, like not jokes, just commentary. Like that bitch who I'm about to talk about is, they did a roast of the guy with the telephone with the clock on his chain, the hip hop guy with the. He's so crackety blackety blackety black. He's so choco black. Just like that. Well, that bitch is like that. Like, that's the joke for this bitch. Because what she did was she went into the hospital and my surgeon stopped her And like he fucking he arrested her and everything. And she was a nurse, so she was playing the role of a nurse. But what she did was she found me, and she came in with a jug of water. And everybody gets a pitcher of water, right? At your bedside. What she did was she took the pitcher of, I remember, with a brown pitcher of water, and she done spilled it on my bedside, on the floor. And I'm like, this. I ignored it. But I did have to go later on to the bathroom, and I took a spill. And I had just woken up out of my surgery, I mean, it was a 14-hour surgery on a 9-year-old child who I died. I was dead. Like, I was dead. I was fucking dead, loving it. So my crutches are now entangled. I can't reach the button to call the nurse. The nurse had now shown up, which is why I got up alone. They were ignoring me in the night, and I had to urinate. And I'm not one to urinate on the bed, but I did urinate on the bed that night, because I had to eventually pull the crutches that I had now in a knot between my legs, and eventually I was able to get up, but I didn't have the strength or the courage to go to the bathroom, which was right there. Like, I was next to the outside and to the bathroom. And the person that was on the other side of me was closer to the window. And that child heard me fall, and she complained that I had fallen in the night. And the nurse, what she did was, in the morning, she started scolding me because when I laid back in the bed, I didn't piss on myself like on the floor. Like, I literally laid down and like relieved myself on the bed because I knew it was plastic, and I just didn't have it in me. So the other nurses were like, you don't talk to her like that, this and that. She's a child. Do you see what she's been through? Blah, blah, blah. So then another thing I did not complain about. I didn't sue those people. But, in and out of that coma, the doctor tried to make it up to me. And I'll never forget his name, Eugene. He actually took on another career, I believe. He went on to study instead of he went on to he's a surgeon, an orthopedic pediatric surgeon. And he went on to open a district in Columbia University at Chicago and study psychology. When I went to Columbia myself, I told him, that's what I want. Where did you study? What did you do? How can I be more like you? And he's, he knew that I knew that I was well hated in the world, that my life was never meant to flourish, to blossom. Like, I'm supposed to be dead. Like, people want me dead. People want me dead just because I was born. And my father would say that it's because of my my dual race. Like in Africa, you're not supposed to be two races. You're either one or the other, but you're a crime if you exist as I do, with multiple races in my blood. And he understood that. So he said that he would see about me being able to get an education in the Ivy League. And I committed to that. I started working at 10 years old so that I could start working at 14 years old. I took the necessary exams and I failed to take the necessary exams so that I would fit in to where I wanted to be without the racial profiling, which is why I don't have a second name, because my mother's black and Latina, and if you have two names, you're liable to be a victim of hate crime, and enslaved sexually and drugged. Especially if you have aspirations of a career and you have the mental capacity to do that with or without support. So the guy that shot at me from the bridge, he ended up trying to murder someone else here. Believe it or not, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Because that person, I was on the beach and they were looking at me and not looking at not me. And, it's a lot to forgive. Insane people, I don't know if you can come back from insanity. You can be taught a series of patterns that lead to consequences so that your muscle memory can adapt to being out in society where we weigh community impact. From the girls, I shadow the girls because what I do is I shadow. I help people with mental illness complete tasks. And the girls said that they were burdened at their job doing maintenance because they're helping the lady do jobs that she won't hire a person for. She never paid me to do work there. And they were overworked working at home for this lady that just takes from them. And I came in to help them out at their job because they were being maxed out at 16 hours a day. Eventually, I did get my Social Security card. And within probation period, I was eliminated from that job because he said that I wasn't come mierda enough, okay? Whenever, see, the thing is that he would tell me to do things, and when I would do it, if he was to get in trouble, then I would get in trouble. But he wouldn't get in trouble, even though if it was his command, which is typical bullshit of the job. He told me, tell the men where the boys' bathroom is. And if you're in the ladies' room, make sure you let them know politely And people don't want to be told that their retard boys can't be looking at Chocha. People don't want to be told to be brave. And I mean, I don't know if they're having sex in the boys' room, in the boys' bathroom. But it seemed like a huge, dangerous situation for a 6-foot man with a learning disability to go to the bathroom by himself. And I got fired for that, for telling the person there is a bathroom for males across the way here. Or at least that's what they told me. That they sent me a schedule and I wasn't on it. Uh, it seemed to me like they were getting repetitive phone calls about me. I don't know who, I can't tell you who exactly was calling, but I tell you that a couple of people were there's a dude Lolo, my father and Lolo built a house here in 612 610 in 00602 00610. I mean, the house is like it's like right on there. Like if you're in one part of the house, you're in 02, and then you're in the other side of the house, you're in 610. And it just seemed like it just seemed like he was being told to let me go so that I could return home. To what? I don't know. Because here, these people are crazy. Crazy about giving me some AIDS. I'm just saying. I forget about AIDS. So that's hospital. That's the refuge. So in Ponce, the vivienda had kicked me out because uh because she didn't want to do the math. She didn't want to give me a lease. She wanted me with nothing to get, like, I had a job. So she wanted me to get another job so I could pay her more rent. And I was just like, I can't be working like this. Like, I can't work 80 hours to give you money. So when she found out that I got my income tax, that bitch was furious. That bitch was furious. She literally said, I'm gonna put you in the fucking street like a gangster and shit. So she had the gangsters like watching me, whatever, and I'm like I grew up I've been in shelter. I've been in the street for a long motherfucking time. I grew up in the fucking street. There's no shelters that don't fucking know me. They be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? This is not a hotel. I grew up in the fucking street because my family is a bunch of drug dealers. And they're fucking amoral and they lie. You know? And they're okay with it. Well, I'm not. I mean, do what the fuck you want. That's why I got called into the IRS before I came here. They were like, your social security, your identity is being used to work for somebody's working with your identity. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not fucking, like, who is this? Like, who is watching me so much that they took my whole shit and they're just pretending to be me? Who is pretending to be me? Come to find out, well, I was being threatened by my sister and her husband at the time. They would tell me, listen, if you don't give us your passport and information, then I'ma hurt these fucking kids. And I let her have my information. And the IRS found out about it because it goes against my insurance. So when they start following me around, I'm either in the shelter or I'm in a library, or I'm at a work. So I mean, I'm just not a criminal. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't use drugs. And thank God for the legalization of medical marijuana, because it was so long. You don't know how it is to fight to not be on methadone, to not be drugged like 80% of the population. I mean, my whole life has been dedicated to not being a drug addict, to not being a drug dealer, to not being a whore on the street, to trying to figure out how to get these bitches off the fucking street. How do you talk to these bitches and convince them, you know, when they're lost? I mean, it's lost. It's lost. You see these people. Like I went to Edwards, and I'm talking to the guy who has this is playing his fucking guitar outside, bum ass nigga. He's talking about when I back home, like there's nothing. It's like a rural area. You have to drive out to see a market. He grew up on a farm. He's like, I love me some schmuckers. And I'm like, he starts talking about peanut butter and jelly. Okay, because when all you got is sunlight, what will sustain your life is peanut butter. But jelly is fun. And he starts telling me that that he grew up in the fields of blueberries. And I'm like, well, it's not the same as like a farm of eggs and stuff, because you think of farms, you think chicken, eggs, and cows. But he grew up, so I'm like, damn, am I talking to Mr. Schumacher here? Am I this is the heiress of Schumacher? Because I remember my father would ask me certain things, and I would come up with ideas, and that money would turn into that money would, like cauliflower pizza, cauliflower crust pizza. That was me. Am I beating down the door of the bitch that had the money to develop it? No, the fuck I'm not. I just saw her. I was like, bitch, you look good. Now, if you could stay in your motherfucking lane, that'd be great. But when it comes to money, people get really upset. Like Facebook. Facebook was me. That's my little baby. What's his name? That guy Zuckerman? He was driving past here. I was like, oh my god, look at that Facebook guy. He owes me money. But I mean, I could see why people want me dead. I could see why people will be trying to murder me. Just outright in the street, just outright. And then go on about their business. The idea is that how do you fucking work? I'm like completely exhausted. I'm exhausted just going to the fucking market, bro. I had to turn in. These fucking cops are in the habit of having me catch some AIDS so much that I had to turn in my bike. I had to turn in my fucking bike because they had a blacky black over here on his bike following me around. He was the next nigga. The one that that was raping my fucking neighbor when I was up in here on Sol. These niggas have been, whenever they find out that I got some money stashed, that I have a stable home, these motherfuckers ruin my fucking life, nigga. They go to all the extents, and I'm like, such is life. But who are these niggas? Who the fuck? I don't give a fuck who these niggas are. Because my investment in me, my money is long. My money's so long it don't know me. Right? There's there there is no way that the life you know is not the way it is because of me. Not just because of the Facebook, the Google, the Yahoo, the MSN I give to Nick because he wanted something apart from pop culture. And he was more Japanese than me. He's more shook in Chinese than me. And he's like out there with that COVID shit. And I was over here on the west side, dancing with the darkness. But, the demise would be the exhaustion of the soul. So that I have to walk to Aguadilla to get a job, to work 5 hours, to walk 5 hours back home. It's too much because my body cannot take it on crutches. And they're just kind of trying to find me dead. And I can't do needles. And I don't qualify for this bullshit that they sell. Like, these bitches actually went to court and says, this bitch is blacky black. And we're white. And we're of privilege. And she needs to fucking bow down to us and lick her. I was like, first of all, I start laughing. I start laughing in the court system when I hear this racist shit because I'm like, everything you fucking got, every dividend you got is because of me. It's from me. Look back through those files and see if my fucking name, Suhei Rosario, is not tied to the prototype of something you have. Be that an Android phone, an Apple computer, fingerprinting. And I never charge anybody anything. I feel like it's just nice to get it out there. It's nice that these bitches on the street, drugged up and beat down, might have an opportunity to get the fuck out. But these drug lords, like my cousins and my sister and these fucking bastards that are from these fucking Guam bastards, however the fuck they came out, these niggas ain't shit but amoral leeches. They're leeches. So I think they're gonna try to kill me again because I've been ignoring them. And they are fed up with that bullshit. They're fed up with my health. They're fed up with my stamina. And it's my mama's birthday, so I had to think about her today. And I said, wow, man. She taught me not to fucking murder. She taught me to get an education, learn how to read and write. That's it. You don't have to do nothing else. But the idea that my existence, my capacity to breathe and walk and to function healthy is enemy of the state. This shit is exhausting. And I cannot trade this bullshit labor for the fucking drugs and insanity these people pretend to have. I mean, because I don't hate my mama. I don't have problems because I don't hate my father. I love them. They did right by me. Despite the whores and the leeches that just want to see you crucified. I mean, they think about Christ and they're like, yeah, crucify. So, while I was in Santa Isabel Olive Garden, they did it to me again. They forced me out of a stable living situation because I wouldn't commit to mental illness, to retardation, to amoral living because I trusted these bitches with administration, and it ended up getting me, I believe it's called an M10 or an MR110, which is being assaulted by a government agency, by a representative. So now I have to do something to not just mark this mafioso, the extension of my sister's crime family that goes from New York to Dominican Republic, but her extension to criming here in Puerto Rico with the taxi driver Gonzalez and the agent of the federal police, Mendez. Because Mendez, like a lot of officers have side gigs, and he's very much interested in the fame and fortune that comes from pornography, and rape porn is apparently very popular. And it's sad because these like drug dealers, they come and they face me face to face. They be like, "What's up?" Like, like, let me show you what's up, because they think like I'm part of it. I'm not. They give me the respect as if I'm part of it, but I'm not part of it. But being that they's about to kill me as if I was, they show me that respect because they had to kill somebody due to trying to kill me, which I don't have nothing to do with it. But my sister, her husband, my cousins, my father's lovers, the bastards of my grandfather, they want to benefit from me and the money I put in for community impact, but they don't want me to have it. Like they're looking to murder me so they could just take my money, which I'm not even begging for. I let it ride, but they just can't. They can't deal with having to refer back to me because I'm the fucking boss. And I don't know, cause I don't want to do anything against my badge number. I would never do anything to embarrass, my legacy. But niggas want to stalk, and niggas want to have a bitch on the street, man, strung out and beat the fuck up. And that's not the way it goes, nigga. That's not the capitalism that I'm developing.